good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio, and today, I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. You see, Tag Bolt is leaking over in Japan. We're going to be going through the cards, and I'm going to be honest, we're going to have to activate the free videos a day button, maybe more sometimes, just to get through them all in a timely fashion. But maybe the most exciting one of all for me is Beedrill. And look, Beedrill's hoodwinked us before. Remember Mega Beedrill that for 2 energy did 40 damage, plus paralysis, plus quadruple poison, and was supposed to be great? Yeah, that never worked out. Well, how about the Beedrill from Evolutions, that if you got all the Beedrill out, you'd be doing 160 anywhere on the field, and that was supposed... Yeah, that never really worked out. Now, to be fair, Beedrill literally won the World Championships in 2009 with 2 different but awesome Beedrill, so it's not like Beedrill's never had any love. But this Beedrill here, ladies and gentlemen, I adore this Beedrill. It's phenomenal. Now, in terms of the basics, you got 130 HP. And this is quite nice because there's a bunch of Pokemon that naturally do 120, like Zoroark, for instance, and like Buzzwole and all of that. So having 130 rather than 120 is good. I mean, stuff like Granbull will still get you, but you can't win them all. Retreat cost of 1 is largely irrelevant, to be honest. You're attacking for 1 energy, but as we're going to see, it's not going to matter. I'm a little bit upset because the ones from Evolutions had free retreat. And the ones from Great Encounters had free retreat, but they haven't all had free retreat. I suppose I can't be too upset about that. And you're weak to fire, which, as we're going to see, it's largely irrelevant. I mean, look, Blacephalon's a thing, but you got 130 HP. If you're being hit for weakness, it's one of those things, right? It's not going to end too well. And then being a grass Pokemon means you're hitting weakness on stuff like Lycanroc, which is nice, but as we're going to see, it's not really going to matter. Why does your weakness and all of that not matter? Because for 1 energy, you're KOing your opponent, and you're KOing yourself, so you're fine. Hang on a second, this might take some explaining. Now, our translation here actually comes from Cerebi.net. They've started doing translations of the new sets. Now, you probably all know how awesome Cerebi is as a website, but it is awesome. I love it, and you should too. Although I have, of course, checked it with David to confirm it is correct, just in case. In a shocking twist, it is. Well, what does it do then? For 1 grass energy, if this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, both active Pokemon are knocked out. If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, both active Pokemon are KO'd. Ladies and gentlemen, that is ridiculous. We're in a format with GXs at the moment, like Zoroark, like Blacephalon, and you get instant 1-hit KOs on them. Regardless of how much HP they've got, regardless of how damaged they are, regardless of how much energy's on them, you just KO'd. Oh, hang on a second, because we're moving into a format with tag team GXs. And they don't give up 2 prizes, they give up 3 prizes. And yet you're getting instant 1-hit KOs on them. Magikarp and Wailord tag team GX, 300 HP. Yeah, instant 1-hit KO. Eevee and Snorlax Tag Team GX, 270 HP, yeah, instant KO. You KO anything. And frankly, if you get this rolling, and you're against a GX or Tag Team GX deck, you win. Because okay, you're KOing Beedrill, but you're basically going, hey, have a prize. I'm having 2. Now, there is a situation here where your opponent essentially just takes a KO next time, but it doesn't matter. You take a KO, you get 2 prizes, they get 1. It's then their turn, they get a prize, you're 2 all. You then KO them, they've taken 3 prizes, you've taken 4, and so on and so forth. You win the prize trade. You win that round. But that's if they can get a KO. And bearing in mind, you're just using a single energy, they may well have to use more. It's hilarious. 2 questions we need to ask. How do we stream Beedrills? I say stream, I clearly mean swarm. There's wasps after all. And how do we get the damage on there? And we've got good answers to both these questions. So in terms of the getting them out, let's not forget that in Crimson Invasion, we got a spectacular Kakuna. For 1 grass energy, search your deck for up to 3 Kakuna and put them onto your bench. It's water duplicates for Kakuna. So what you do here is you get 1 Kakuna out, and then you roll. Because then you get all your other Kakuna. And look, okay, you might have to waste a turn or 2 before you can get this rolling. Well, that's alright, ladies and gentlemen. Use a wall. Heck, maybe you play Magikarp and Wailord Tag Team GX. Stall for a little bit. And then when you're ready, play an Ace Roller and pick it up. Or use something like a Shuckle, which, to be honest, is going to be really good in the early game when your opponent doesn't have much energy, because they've got to have free energy to attack. So maybe you use that to buy a turn while you get set up. But the point is here that 1 Kakuna leads to all the other Kakuna, which is quite redonkulous. And also here, right, you could play just 2 Weedle and 4 Kakuna, knowing that once you get 1, you get the rest of them out. And that way you can play other starting Pokemon, and you're far more likely to start with them and less likely to start with Weedle, because you're only playing a couple. Just a thought. And in terms of the damaging, honestly, it's so bloomin' easy here. First of all, we got Potown. Potown is a stadium whereby when a Pokemon evolves, they take 3 damage counters. So just have this in play when you evolve up from Kakuna into Beedrill. Sorted. Oh, there wasn't a Potown in play at the time. Gosh darn it, that's so upsetting. You got a single energy attack, use Rainbow Energy. And then you take a damage counter. Damaging Beedrill here is super not difficult. It is in no way, shape or form difficult at all. Between Potown and Rainbow Energy, you really shouldn't worry. The only worry here, there's 2 worries about this attack. Only 2 worries. Number 1, what if you don't get your Kakuna and your Beedrill out fast enough? If your opponent goes up 2 or 3 prizes and you're matching, that could be a pain. And secondly, against non-GX decks, this could be an issue, because against GXs, you're trading 2 for 1. So you're golden. Against non-GXs, you're trading 1 for 1, and what if you're a little bit slower? But the answer is, you don't have to just run with Beedrill. Play some other Pokemon. You could even play any type you like, and just play Rainbow Energy for Beedrill. Yes, playing 4 Rainbow Energy is potentially a little bit dodgy, but don't forget you can use Energy Losso to help you search it out. And then maybe you play a couple of Grass Energy and a couple of other things. Frankly, you can play whatever else you want with this. But if you use Beedrill as a core of your deck, it's extremely simple. If you can get set up moderately quick, it doesn't even need to be that quick, but moderately quickly, against either GX or Tag Team GX decks, you win. Against non-GX decks, it is a lot more awkward. You will be needing to prize trade, so do please bear that in mind. Have an answer for non-GX decks. Because otherwise, if they take the first prize, well, they can just prize match you, and then you're not doing very well. Especially if they take a prize on their turn and you give them a prize on yours, you will end up losing that, and that will be very sad. So okay, maybe Beedrill won't be everything, but in a GX-heavy metagame, or with something that can take out the non-GXs, which are lower HP anyway, you could be rolling here. I adore this. This is a super interesting card that could be really, really good. And okay, play a couple of other grass Pokemon if you need to. As for the second attack, I'm not particularly loving it, but it doesn't really matter. 2 colorless energy, 90 damage, you do 10 to yourself. Yeah, doing 10 to yourself is quite nice, I suppose, purely because it sets up the first attack. But double colorless energy here makes me a little bit wary, because the first attack needs a grass energy, so if you attach a double colorless for the second attack, you can't use the first. Plus 90 damage, I mean, with a choice band, you're getting Lycanroc, but really you're not doing any. I mean, if you're hitting for weakness, you're fine with a choice band, or against a non-GX, just fine. But honestly, after that, I'm worried if you're not hitting for weakness what you're doing. I don't think 90's enough. I do think you need some other Pokemon in with this, but because you can take advantage of Rainbow Energy, and seriously, if you're playing this deck, you've got to play 4 Rainbow Energy, you really can play around with whatever other attackers you like. it's not going to be good enough against non-GX decks. Because you're KOing yourself on your turn, and if they ever get a KO, you're definitely losing the prize race. But against GX, or especially tag team GX decks, this is nuts. Oh, Magikarp and Wailord, you want to be a wall? You want to stop me taking prizes? I'm going to take 3 prizes for 1 energy. This will destroy Magikarp and Wailord tag team GX. Somewhat hilariously. Not that hilariously because I love the card, but hey ho. I'm giving this 4 Wassies, and I honestly think it could be more than that. Because it's not just the fact that you can KO anything, it's the fact that we've got the Kakuna from Crimson Invasion. That's what makes it so good. That's what makes it so relevant. Remember when that Kakuna came out, I told you if we ever get a really good Beedrill in future, this is gonna be nuts. Well, we've got the really good Beedrill now. So it is nuts. My only real concern is, can you trade with a non-GX deck, and can you find a good enough partner? But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about Beedrill, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice, would ya? Also, as a side note, when I say Beedrill's broken, I am, of course, referring to the literal sense. It breaks the rules of the game, whereby you're supposed to be doing damage to them and doing enough to KO them, etc., not KOing you and them for a single energy. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do just that. And of course, do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.